Hey guys, what is up? Sam or Scorpiola here, and welcome to Black Ops 4 Zombies early gameplay. But on a real note, welcome to Blackout, bringing you guys zombies in Blackout. And this is something we've all been waiting for. It's something that's got the community super hyped for Blackout. Just the fact that we have zombies in this is going to make it stand out so much from any other battle royale on the market, because, well, it kind of incorporates PvE into PvP, and then that kind of allows you to get special rewards, which I think is really cool. And in this we have elements from 4 different zombies map and an extra zombies area where they can spawn, and then once you kill them you can actually go and get some special loot in this area. They just can't add the extra threat to it. So we have areas from Tranzit, Shadows of Evil, Call of the Dead, Verrukt, and even a new area being a graveyard. So I'm going to start off going through each area and kind of discuss generally its benefits, its drawbacks, generally what I think about it and its comparisons to the original. So as you can see, we're starting off in Verrukt, and now Verrukt as a whole is very similar to the original. The entirety of the original is there, and it's massively expanded upon. So all the areas that you can see here and there just kind of out of the map, you can get to them, and it's all obviously in brilliant HD because, well, it's next gen and it looks incredible in Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now the zombies don't do too much damage to you, only about 10 damage. They're not really going to kill you, they're just going to set you back by a bit of health. And you can get a bunch of loot in this place, and one reason it does make this place particularly cool in my eyes is you can do the toilet Easter egg, which I think is such a cool addition to have thrown into the mix there. Just that idea, because, you know, that's one of the best Easter egg songs in history, Lullaby of a Dead Man. It's awesome. It's incredible, and it's brilliant that they threw it into this mode. Now there's about 4 or 5 mystery box locations here, which is really cool. You also find that the whole courtyard area is opened up, and a lot of the areas around the surroundings. So there's a few sheds, a few extra buildings, the courtyard in the middle, obviously, as I say, and it's just really cool, honestly. Mystery boxes, you can find them in pretty much each section of the area, but only in the main Verrukt as far as I'm aware, so only in the bits which were in the original map. Generally they've kind of added some linking doors, so say the secret wall by area just off of the dentist room now actually links into the room adjacent to it, which is a nice wee addition they've made there. Overall, I'd say this area is great for any number of players. It's fun for solo, it's definitely one of the more contested spots, so you're going to want to make sure you're fully kitted out and ready to go for this fight, because it's going to be a significantly tougher one. 4 players, if you can come in and wipe this out, you are going to get mad loot, you're going to get fully kitted out, and you're going to be ready to go. And now onto the maze, which is actually sat out the back of the map, which is quite interesting. Now overall, it's not a complex maze, it's just a little thing. It is not the buried maze. So many people have been saying it's buried, it looks nothing like it, it's nothing like the size of it, it's not the buried maze. Now, I was a bit disappointed with it because I get that it's simple, but for a little puzzle, you know, I was kind of expecting to get some cool loot in the middle. Now you just get some pretty average stuff. You can actually pick up some bits of loot on the way around the dead ends, which is pretty cool. And I thought I might as well show you this wee house there that sat out the back of the map. Again, you can just get a few little extra wee pieces here, and honestly it's bits like this and the wee sheds that make it perfect for a quad game. Get 4 players and you can get kitted out to the max and ready to go and slay the rest of the map out to get that win. Now moving on to our next area, we have the boxing gym from Shadows of Evil, where we see Floyd training and boxing. Overall, this area is the only bit of the map that is there. It's sat in a kind of residential area in between Fracking Tower and Turbine, as you'll kind of see on the map as I showed you. And it's all around pretty cool, obviously, because it's a perfect recreation of it. It looks really awesome. It's one of my favourite areas. Setting the mystery box in the middle of it is a really cool idea. It just looks awesome in general. But unfortunately the loot there isn't great. You're not going to get kitted out well. I wouldn't go there any more than solos, but you could always have people going off to the adjacent buildings because there's a fair bunch of them. Overall, not bad. Not my favourite spot, but really cool. So our next spot is actually the only of the original spots, and this is the graveyard. Now this one, as far as I'm aware, I've spoken to zombies experts like the likes of the big man himself, Greg FPS, And as far as I'm aware, this doesn't come from any real zombies map, so this is totally original for this. You'll see, this is probably the one from my experience, because obviously the theme fits, you know, it's the undead in the graveyard, it fits well, it's a really cool idea. This is the one where you probably get the most zombies from my experience. Maybe that's just for me, but I got a lot more zombies here than any other spot. There is the mystery box sat in the middle. As far as I'm aware, there's only the one location where that can spawn. Honestly, I was surprised by this spot. You get a decent amount of loot. You actually get enough to kit you and probably a friend out, so I wouldn't go here more than duos. I'd say quads, you're probably going to be pushing it to get enough loot, but I'd say solos or duos, you're going to be able to get enough loot. Obviously you've got the mystery box loot. The zombies as a whole in this mode, the health is pretty high. I'd say they're about over around 20 health, which with unpacked guns with no perks like double tap is a bit of a challenge, honestly. It does take a fair few bullets, but they do go down. They're just generally kind of a bit of a hazard in there to stop you just being able to focus on the players. Moving on to Call of the Dead, which is one of my favourite maps. First warning, do not drop down on the top area, because if you do, you'll be stuck there and you won't be able to get down without jumping down and taking a ton of damage. But once you land on the second floor, you'll kind of be able to get some loot around here. You can also get a solid amount of loot here for one person. I'm not going to lie about it, to be honest. I wouldn't go here more than a solo. You don't get a lot of loot here. You don't tend to get very lucky with the circle here in my experience. There is, I found only one mystery box spot down on the lower level of it, as you see here in the video, where you can get some loot, but as a whole the loot's not great here. It doesn't tend to favour the circle, which is unfortunate because Call of the Dead is one of my favourite maps of all time. Overall, we mainly have the main lighthouse, but you can actually go into the room next to it and they'll actually take you down towards where you would go, towards the river and the ship. And yeah, it takes you down there. Obviously you can't get onto the ship, unfortunately, but you've got this little stacked building where you would find PhD Flopper in the original version, and this will just take you across this wee bridge onto the rest of the map. It looks pretty obscure because, well, it's daylight and it's weird and it's not snowy, but overall it's pretty cool. Just as a wee reference, it's not great as a looting spot, but it's just a lot of fun because, well, it's Call of the Dead. How can you hate on it? And then finally, as you're showing on here, it's Diner from Transit, one of the most hated maps in history, but it's still here, and it works as a lot of fun into Blackout. Now, this one I was surprised by how many people you see going here. It's quite a common one. You'll see a fair few people. You could honestly probably go here in a squad. I would say the best number for this is 2s, but you will get a lot of people coming here, bearing in mind it does tend to be a very common one from my experience. You need to be aware coming to these zombies locations, particularly if you're coming later on, because you will find people camping most likely with, you know, because you can get ray guns which can kill players in 2 to 3 hits. They're very powerful if you can hit the hits with them. Monkey bombs, which just kind of keep the zombies out of the way, and a bunch of other cool weapons with operator mod, all that stuff. Fully kitted out weapons. I get an MP40 here, as you do see, and overall it's a decent spot. As I say, I would not go here more than duos generally because it just can get a bit hectic. It's not a lot of fun and you're not going to get a lot of loot, and it's Transit, so what do you expect? But I think with that, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. As you can see, there's the garage there as well next to it. I thought I'd point that wee bit out there too, just to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have, make sure to like, comment and subscribe for a ton more Blackout content to come. There's so much more I'm going to be bringing you guys. Top 5s of favourite guns, favourite drop spots. I have a bunch of tips and tricks to give you guys from all the hours I've put into this. And yeah, I'll see you on more Call of Duty Zombies content. Bye!